and welcome to the first edition of the 5 Cent Cigar Newscast for the spring 2022 semester. I'm Imani Fleming. Thank you so much for joining us. This week, we're taking a look at the university's continued COVID-19 rules and regulations, including the newly mandated booster shot, the ways the pandemic has impacted admissions efforts at URI, the Launch Lab's mission to explore innovation and entrepreneurship within the URI community, the items that should be on your new semester checklist, and as always, make sure to stick around for your Rhody Sports Corner. Over the winter break, URI announced their plans to keep the COVID-19 vaccination mandate in place for all students, faculty, and staff, while also requiring community members to receive the booster shot. URI's COVID-19 task force and university administration mandated the booster after a global increase in coronavirus cases due to the Omicron variant at the end of last year. Here's the story. On December 20th of last year, URI Communications released a statement announcing the university's decision to require the COVID-19 booster on all campuses. The decision came after a rapid increase of national coronavirus cases. All who were eligible to receive the booster were required to upload proof of their shot prior to the first day of classes. Dave LaValle shares insight into the community's response to the mandate and how senior leadership has put their faith in the shot.
I tell you that the response has been in the thousands in terms of people submitting paperwork around, boosters and that kind of thing. So that's a good sign. That suggests to us that students are just as excited to come back for the spring semester and want to preserve that experience as they were for the fall.
According to LaValle, there's a new COVID advisory group on campus led by interim provost Laura Bouvet. However, the COVID-19 task force is still meeting regularly to, quote, keep an eye on things.
And that group is looking at kind of a little more strategic responses to the pandemic and kind of any kind of campaigns that we might need to do to inform, our community about things.
LaValle says the university will continue to follow CDC guidelines for the most up-to-date safety procedures regarding COVID-19, and that many URI senior leaders like Ellen Reynolds believe that the university is in good shape to continue holding vaccine and booster clinics.
If you haven't been vaccinated yet and you want to, you can start the process. If you want to get your booster, then you can do that too. With this kind of participation, she thinks we may continue to get more vaccine. So stay tuned.
Imani Fleming reporting, 5 Cent Cigar News. URI's regular decision deadline for applicants was this past Tuesday, February 1st. Alexa Potamianos sat down with Dean of Admissions, Cynthia Bond, to discuss the trends in admissions this year and the effects the pandemic has had on her office, potential first-year students, and all those looking to call Rhody their home away from home.
With the regular decisions deadline recently passing, I talked with the university's Dean of Admissions, Cynthia Bond, to hear more about trends in applicants.
It's been another really exciting year in terms of the numbers of applications. Last year, we broke our application record for first-year applicants. We exceeded 25,000 applications. And this year, we're running ahead of both last year and the year before. We're not up by a huge amount, but we are up by more than 400 applications. We're up 2% over last year. So right now we're at 23,766. Tomorrow is our regular decision deadline, February 1. So we had a lot come in over the weekend. We're expecting more to come in today and tomorrow. And our applications continue to come from all over the country and all over the world. A lot of folks think because we are the University of Rhode Island that the majority of our applications must come from Rhode Island, and the opposite is true. Only 20% of our applications come from Rhode Island, 80% come from other states and other countries.
Bond also touched upon the different programs that are most popular for this group of applicants.
We have 8 degree granting colleges. Nursing continues to be very popular, and the largest increase percentage-wise for applications is again in nursing this year. But as I said, it's across the spectrum. So we're up a little bit in in business and engineering and arts and sciences. Comm studies continues to be one of our largest majors. It's a nice major for lots of folks who are exploring opportunities, and it can take them in so many directions, and it pairs well with lots of other majors.
Alexa Potamianos, 5 Cent Cigar News.
The Launch Lab at URI is a resource available to all students, especially those interested in entrepreneurship and innovation. Located in the library, the Launch Lab is a dynamic and full-service space equipped with equipment, software, 3D design, virtual reality, and many other tools to help facilitate hands-on learning and programming workshops. Spenser Barsch attended one of their networking events to find out more.
Enter Carruthers Library, and you might not even realize you've walked past one of URI's most unique student resources. Innovate at URI's Launch Lab. I talked to Gina Miranda, program coordinator, to get the scoop on what Launch Lab can do for you.
So the Launch Lab is essentially the space for students to come and bring their ideas, whether they have something that they've been working on before or it's something they're just starting to think about. They can come here and we can give them whatever resource it is to help them make it grow.
I also sat in on a recent Launch Lab networking event that offered enterprising students an opportunity to connect with like-minded peers, and discovered that taking advantage of the resources on offer is as easy as walking in and asking.
So if you're a student and you want to get involved with Launch Lab, whether you came in through an event, which you can register for on the URI events page or on our social media, you can walk in anytime. We have an open door policy. At any point you want to come in, you can come in. And you can come in. We start talking about what your idea is or what research you've done, maybe about why you're interested in the idea, and then we can kind of just have a conversation and work with you just to make sure that what you want to do is in line with what we can do and lead you in the best direction. Some of the resources, we have a bunch. We have some that are within URI. Those include our student directors that are in the room, usually all day, like 5 days a week. They can come in and act as peer mentors for the students. We also have faculty members that we have in different colleges that can help with either getting them connected to other businesses or other companies, internships. So we have faculty members that can connect the students to other resources outside of campus as well, if it's a company or it's an online resource or it's another school itself, or events that are happening. And then externally we have an office called RI Hub in Providence that they can take ideas from URI and bring them to the office in Providence and help it expand throughout the greater Rhode Island state.
Interested to get involved? The next opportunity is never far off.
So our next event is on Thursday, February 10th at 5 p.m. We're going to have a guest speaker, Phil Parisi, who's going to talk about how he created his YouTube channel and how he's making money off of it.
Spenser Barsch, 5 Cent Cigar News.
The College of Arts and Sciences Student Academic Services team releases a checklist at the start of every semester to help students settle back into the swing of things and stay organized. However, this isn't the only resource they offer. With more, here's Erin Brown.
College of Arts and Sciences students received a helpful checklist of things to do at the beginning of the semester. I talked to Kimberly Balch to see how that list was created.
And we wanted to come up with a way to help students be more proactive about avoiding those issues in the first place. Mm-hmm. It is a lot easier to avoid a problem than it is to fix a problem. And we want to see how we can support our students in doing that, encourage them to do that themselves in a way where they can take a little more ownership of their education and how everything's happening. So we kind of created a list of things that we were seeing as common issues coming up that could be prevented even the very first week of classes every semester.
The main goal of the Student Academic Services is to help students succeed here at URI.
While we may not always be the office that the students end up working through their problems with, we're usually the first touch point. And we can get students put into contact with someone who can provide more support for them, whether that's something through counseling services, whether it's something through the Academic Enhancement Center, they just need that extra support for figuring out time management, whether it's working with disability services for students. We get a lot of students who are struggling for various reasons, whether it's something like ADHD or visual impairment or just accessibility issues, being able to navigate campus. So we'll often work with disability services or other offices, making sure students are getting referred appropriately to get the support they need. So while the majority of what we work with is academics, we are here to help provide support for the whole student.
Students can find out more by going to the Student Resources page on the College of Arts and Sciences at the URI website. Erin Brown, Good 5 Cent Cigar Newscast.
Now over to Aniekan Okon with your Rhody Sports Corner.
Thanks, Imani. Hello and welcome back to another edition of your Rhody Sports Corner. Tammy Reese continues to raise the bar in just her third season in Kingston. Her team currently holds the longest win streak in program history at 9 games, and because of that, they have received national attention for the first time ever. Hoping to make it 10 in a row, the Rams took on St. Louis on Wednesday night.
Of course, when you're on a winning streak, there's plenty to dance about. In the first half, off a St. Louis miss, MP Fapasi grabs the rebound and glides through defenders before finding sharpshooter Dolly Cairns on the wing for the knockdown 3. St. Louis did keep things interesting. First, Julia Martinez finds Brooke Flowers for 2 of her team-high 16 points. And then on the next possession, the Billikens bring it within 4 thanks to some nice ball movement before Martinez scores the bucket. This time, Rhode Island in transition. Des Elmore finds Emmanuel Tahan for the hoop and the harm. Rams hold off St. Louis to win this one 60-52. After the game, Tammy Reese credited her team's success to their ability to come together as a group.
We went through a stretch where we hit some adversity and it tore us apart a little bit as a team, and I think it was good for us. And then it brought us back together. And we had 3 weeks to focus on us. They've come together as a team, and that's a credit to them. The leadership of our older players and then our newcomers blending in to it's not easy coming a year into a program and you got to find your place. And that's why chemistry is a big thing. They found their chemistry together, and that's a credit to all our players.
We feel like we got a target on our backs, so we play like we're down all the time. I think the best thing that we have is we're always together. We're always trying to stay focused. We really want to win, and we try our hardest and our best to play hard and do what we're supposed to do in order to get the win.
And let's take a look at the rest of your scores around Kingston. The blizzard didn't stop the Rhody men's hockey team from sweeping number 22 Delaware this past weekend. Women's hockey also grabbed a win at Penn State on Saturday. And finally, Rhody football added 7 players on National Signing Day Wednesday to complete a 14-player recruiting class this year. And that's it for this week's Rhody Sports Corner. Back to you.
That's all we have for you this week at the 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. Make sure to check us out at rhodycigar.com and follow us on Twitter at Rhody Cigar. Once again, thank you so much for joining us, and as always, stay safe, Rhody.